let's talk about how to get good sleep when you are stressed or anxious or feeling overwhelmed. And the reason why I'm making this video is because, man, it has been a hell of a week. And also, a friend of mine, Nick, just reached out to me and he said, man, Kyle, I can't sleep. I've been waking up in the middle of the night for like 4 nights in a row. I'm stressed out of my mind. I don't know what to do, but I know I need to get better sleep. So in this video, I'm going to teach you the strategies that I am using currently during a very stressful period of my life to manage my sleep and to make sure that I get good quality sleep, even though I've got a lot of stuff on my mind, even though I got a lot of stuff on my plate, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a good understanding of how to take control of your sleep when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling stressed, or when you are feeling anxious. Now, before we get into the video, quick disclaimer is this is not medical advice or medical information. If you're having really bad anxiety or you suffer from anxiety or having mental health issues, please go seek a professional, go find a therapist, go find a doctor, go find someone who is registered and certified to help you in this way. But I'm going to tell you what I've done for myself and what I've shared with my friends that might be useful for you as well as you're navigating this potentially difficult time. Okay, so step number 1 is we're going to identify where the stress is coming from. We need to isolate what is causing us this anxiety or what is stressing us out, right? Is it environmental? Is it emotional? Is it psychological? Is it physical? All these factors can be at play, and we need to pinpoint what is really the source of our stress. And once we identify that, and it might be a combination of many of them, we need to go after it, we need to address it, and we need to be with it. Oftentimes when I'm dealing with emotional stress, I will seek out a network care specialist. I made a video with my buddy Alan, which you can go check out right there, wherever it is, about network chiropractic. It's an insanely useful tool and practice that I have that I come back to every single time that I go into this type of stressed or anxious type of feeling. And it's good for many other things other than that, but especially during times of quote unquote crisis, I would highly encourage you to check out a network care specialist. Find someone in a location near you. But if you can't find a network chiropractic practitioner, then I recommend that you pick up this book called 12 Stages of Healing, where they teach certain breathwork techniques that help you basically experience the emotion that you need to experience in order to liberate that energy and sort of move through it, right? Because oftentimes the anxiety or the stress is a signal. It is a symptom. It is saying, hey, pay attention to me. I'm here for a reason. You need to listen to me. You need to look at me. What is going on? Why aren't you paying attention, right? So there's a message that's being sent to our brain or to our body that says, hey, this needs attention, it needs attention right now. So if you can't find a practitioner, I highly encourage you to check out that book. I will put a link in the description for you to go check out. The next thing you want to do is you want to start closing as many loops as you can. So anytime I feel stressed or overwhelmed, I always have a bunch of open loops out. You know, there's a bunch of attention units per se that are on a certain event or on a certain thing that I have to do, and it is taking up a lot of brain space, and so I don't have a lot of attention units available to work on the biggest stressor, to deal or handle the biggest stressor or the biggest thing that is upsetting me or that I need to address within my body, right? So I call this getting into micro momentum, which it could be as simple as making your bed in the morning and taking control of your day in that way. It could be as simple as doing your laundry. It could be as simple as just the little things that you've been ignoring or the little things that maybe are just taking up some brain space. As soon as you start closing these little loops, you're going to start getting more and more attention back, which will give you more space to think, and it will help you sort of bring the temperature down, sort of turn the dial, turn the nozzle down a little bit so that you can have a little bit greater capacity to handle whatever is going on. The last thing on this particular step is something to consider is your perspective, right? So oftentimes when we're feeling stressed or we're feeling anxious, there's a fear, right? Or there is a sense of panic. And if you really project out to the worst case scenario, it is often not as bad as you think it is, right? And even if it is as bad as you think it is, or maybe if it's even worse, you allow yourself to go there, you experience it, you be with it, and then you can move through it. You can liberate that sort of state, right? If you're dealing with something that is really emotional, and I do believe that when things are stressful, when we're feeling overwhelmed, there's a lot of emotion involved. There's some type of story that is interconnected, as well as, you know, biological things and physical things that might be going on as well. So step number 2 is going to be to remove as many stressors as you can. So what that might look like is pushing deadlines. What that might look like is turning your phone on airplane mode, getting off social media, stopping the influx of inbound messages and notifications, because that will put you in a reactive state, and we want to be proactive. We want to take sort of initiative, control of the situation that seems out of our control, right? Because that is what the experience of stress could be, is a feeling of I don't know what's going to happen, I'm scared, I'm not in control, so there's fear there. So if we also think not only to what is the worst case scenario, but also in the past, when things played out in a similar fashion, or in times of heightened stress, or in times of anxiety, we made it through it. And remembering that we handled the situation, and eventually, you know, things changed, and there's the famous quote, "This too shall pass," right? Like, this is temporary. And knowing and trusting that whatever you're going through, or whatever you're experiencing, as stressful as it may be, or as anxious as it may make you feel, knowing that things are going to be better in the future, that things are going to work out, that you're going to get through this, and regardless of, you know, what is currently happening right now, it is going to be okay. Just that one idea alone, just knowing, having that trust in yourself, in whatever is out there, that things will get better and things will calm down, may just give you even more peace of mind that, okay, this is temporary, which will help you bring down the stress a little bit more. The last thing on this step 2 is to consider offloading as much of your tasks, or as many of your projects or responsibilities as you can, and asking for support from your friends, from your family, from your colleagues, from your workers, and saying, hey, I got a lot of stuff on my plate, or I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling anxious, can you please help me? Oftentimes when we get into this mode, I speak for myself, when I get into this mode, I just want to retract, right? I want to contract, and I find it hard to ask for support. I think many people find it hard to ask for support. So in this particular time, that's exactly why you have built, you know, a circle around you of people who you can depend on, people who love you, people who want to be there for you. And all you have to do is just say, hey guys, this is how I'm feeling. I really need support right now. Can you please help me? This is the way in which I'm requesting help. If you can't do that, that's all right, but this would be optimal, right? And just clearly communicating to people, hey, I need help right now. I'm feeling stressed, and I need to downregulate things. Can you support me? Step 3 is going to be to manage your nervous system. So the way that I do that, and what I mean by that, is when we're feeling stressed, when we're feeling overwhelmed, and we're feeling anxious, our nervous system is overactive. We feel tense, we feel on edge, right? And what we want to do is we want to bring our nervous system down, we want to downregulate it, we want to get into a parasympathetic state, right? Rest and digest versus fight or flight. Sympathetic is fight or flight, parasympathetic is rest and digest. So in order to do that, what we can do is we can practice some type of breath work. I personally like nose-nose breathing, right? In through the nose, out through the nose, right? And I also like to practice Wim Hof method. Wim Hof is mouth-mouth, and normally when you're feeling anxious, that's the type of breathing that you will do. But the thing about Wim Hof that I experience, I don't know if this is true, this is anecdotal, but when I do Wim Hof, after I exhale all my breath and I hold my breath, I go into a very tranquil state, a very peaceful state. And there's been a lot of studies that show that Wim Hof's breathing method can do a lot for bringing down inflammation, and there's a lot that you can do in terms of mind control, meaning you telling your body after it goes into that alkaline state that you can influence that parasympathetic nervous system and say, hey, it's time to relax, it's time to chill. And there's very good evidence to support that you're actually able to influence your physiology deeply once you put yourself into this deeply meditative state. So for that reason, I believe that Wim Hof and his method is an amazing tool and resource to use to take control of your physiology, to take control of your state, and to manage your emotions accordingly. Another tool that I'm actually experimenting with right now is called the Apollo NEURO, which is a wearable device that helps you train your nervous system. And it has different settings for different outcomes. So if you want to calm yourself, if you want to relax yourself, then there is a setting for that. If you want to get better sleep, then there is a setting for that, right? If you want to wake yourself up, there's a setting for that. All you do is you put it on your wrist or on your leg, and you turn it on, you put the setting, you set the timer, and you set the intensity, and it will vibrate at a certain frequency that will entrain your nervous system to help influence it and put it into a different state. So this is something I'm experimenting with. I got it yesterday, and I had really great results. There is a full review coming soon. I will link it up whenever it goes live, and I'll also put a link to these guys in the description as well, okay? Last but not least, I couldn't make this video without just mentioning meditation, right? Meditation is an insanely powerful tool for helping you just regulate your mind, regulate your stress response. And I don't think it's necessarily the answer, because I don't think it addresses the root. Like, we need to figure out why we're stressed, why we're anxious, in order to actually get rid of the problem. But it's a great tool to use when you're in that state, when you're in panic mode, to just, I need to bring myself out of reactivity, and I need to just bring mindfulness to whatever's going on. And just that act alone of bringing mindfulness to your breath or to whatever you're experiencing or whatever you're feeling can give you greater insight into what's actually going on and why you're feeling that way. Before we get into step number 4, if you're liking this content, give me a big thumbs up. It really does help get this information out to more people. Hit that like button, and if you like this type of content, consider subscribing. We got a lot more coming soon, talking about sleep optimization, stress reduction, lifestyle, health optimization, all that fun stuff. So consider subscribing if you're into that. And you might be thinking right now, like, Kyle, this is great, but like, how does this have to do with my sleep? Well, if we want to get good sleep when we're stressed and when we're anxious, we need to actually address the stress, and we need to take control of the nervous system. We need to actually attack whatever is causing us such duress, right? And we need to get in relationship with it so that we can move through it, we can experience it in a healthy way. And once we do that, hopefully we'll be able to get better sleep. Because consider this, if we can keep the stress at bay, then we can actually get good sleep. And when we actually get good sleep, it's gonna increase our body's ability to handle and deal and cope with the stress, and to build more resilience, right? It's a terrible negative feedback loop when we're stressed out or when we're anxious, and it's making us having problems, with our sleep. And because we have problems with our sleep, we're less resilient and we're less able to cope and deal with the stress. And it's a terrible cycle. So in step 4, what we need to do is we need to feed the body. What does that mean? We need to go outside, get into nature. We need to put our feet in the sand, or go into the forest, or walk through a field, whatever we can do to find that connection with nature. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that it has an insanely calming effect. And there's been a lot of studies done on earthing and grounding, all the amazing health benefits that it has. So I will link up some videos or some studies that might be relevant in terms of grounding the effects, so that you can do a little bit of research on your own and learn more about how beneficial that can be for you. The next thing we're gonna do is exercise. So some type of movement. It could be as simple as walking, right? Or it could be as simple as just doing some yoga, or anything that is going to move the body, move the lymphatic system, move the circulatory system. We need to get out of our head and into our body, and the best way to do that is to move. I love to walk. That is my favorite thing to do to reduce stress. And anything that is going to get me outside is going to be, thumbs up. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to increase my water intake. I'm going to start drinking a lot more water. I'm going to get hyper hydrated. And I'm also going to eat low glycemic meals. The reason why this is important is low glycemic meals means when you eat, it's not going to spike your insulin too much, or your blood sugar. That's important because when we're stressed, our blood sugar is going to become very sensitive, meaning it's going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. And by eating a low glycemic diet, I'm going to keep my blood sugar within hopefully some resemblance of a normal range while I'm stressed or while I'm anxious. And I'm going to make sure I practice mindful eating, meaning I'm going to breathe deeply through my diaphragm while I eat, and I'm going to chew longer than I think I need to chew, probably about 25 times per bite. And I'm not going to be doing anything else while I eat, like social media or TV or anything like that. The next thing I'm going to do is I buy these BioK probiotic liquid fermented rice drinks. You can get them at Whole Foods or at Sprouts. And I get the non-dairy, the vegan rice probiotic fermented thing. I don't know what it exactly it is, but I've tested it before, and for me, it helps with my gut health. And when I'm stressed or when I'm anxious, the stomach is the first thing to go. You might notice that if you're stressed or if you're having anxiety, you might be having weird bowel movements, or you might be having stomach issues. Sometimes that is actually the cause of anxiety. Sometimes that is actually the cause of stress. If you have poor gut health, then you're probably going to have some other related issues. And so what I want to do is I want to keep my gut in check while I'm stressed, while I'm feeling anxious. So I will do that. That is not a long-term solution for me. That is just during periods of time where I'm feeling extra stressed. I'm going to give my gut as much support as it can get to make sure that I can maintain healthy gut microbiome and healthy gut bacteria, so that that doesn't get totally ruined during this time of emotional duress. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to incrementally ratchet up my body's ability to tolerate stress using cold showers. So I'm going to do 30-second cold showers for the first week. Then I'm going to go up to 45 seconds or a minute in the next week. And then in the following week, I'm going to go up from a minute to 2 minutes. And then from the following week, from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. The reason why this is important is because we want to increase our body's tolerance to stress. So if I enter into a cold shower and I control my breathing, I am training my nervous system to say, hey, this is a stressful experience, this is a stressful situation, and it's okay. It's safe, and I'm in control. And what that does is it creates adaptation to stress, meaning I'm gonna build more resilience within my body and its ability to deal with whatever is going on in the world or in my body. Step number 4 is we gotta feed the soul. So I would encourage you to go be with your friends, go spend some time with your family, catch up with someone who you haven't spoken to in a long time, watch some funny movies or some stand-up comedy, and try to lighten the mood as much as you can. And maybe do some journaling and reflection on, what is going on in your life right now that may be causing this, and making sure that you express gratitude for everything that you have, and maybe practice some forgiveness for something that is bothering you or someone that is bothering you. And what I found is that these practices have an insanely influential impact on our state, right? Because it's hard to be scared and fearful when you're grateful. It's actually impossible. You can't feel two opposing emotions at the same time like that, right? So think about it. Ask yourself, if you're feeling anxious or you're feeling stressed about the worst case scenario, what could you be grateful for in this very moment? And that might change your state just like that. It might not be the all-encompassing solution. We still have to address what's actually there. Step number 5 would be to talk with a professional. Go find a therapist, go find a functional medicine doctor. If you got some weird stuff going on, definitely just seek someone who's paid to do this, to help you through these difficult times, because they have amazing strategies as well that might be able to speed up this process and get you through it faster. Now, if you're watching this video, you may not have seen any of my other content, so I would highly encourage you to go check out this sleep optimization playlist, where I talk about all things that you can do to master your sleep, right? There's so many things that I didn't mention in this video just because I have addressed it in other videos. So if you don't know anything about how to optimize your sleep, if you don't know anything about sleep hacking or biohacking in terms of creating an optimal sleep routine, or creating a sleep oasis, or any of the things that can really impact your sleep dramatically, then I would definitely encourage you to go check out this playlist. And if you found this helpful, subscribe if you made it this far in this video, and I will see you in that next video or in that playlist. Peace.